Right now, I'm grateful to live in a city, in a state, and a country where I strongly support my mayor and my governor and my president and my senators and my representative. If at some point that weren't true and I thought I could make a meaningful and measurably greater impact, I'd have to ask and answer that question.
Yeah, the question, I guess, was, will Chelsea be running for public office? Gee, at least she doesn't laugh, that cackling laugh like her mom when she was asked, you going to run for president ever. Joining us now is Heather Wilhelm, columnist at RealClearPolitics.com and senior contributor for TheFederalist.com. Heather, good to talk to you. You wrote a piece, The Clinton Family's Telling Mantra, and I learned from reading your piece that we all can look forward to a book coming out later this year from the one and only Chelsea Clinton.
Aren't we lucky? It's very exciting, yes. And so Chelsea's book is apparently going to be geared towards children, and it's going to teach them to solve the problems of the world, which, of course, we all know Chelsea knows everything about, right? But as I note in my column, Chelsea reveals in an open letter to her fans that the Clinton family has a rather interesting mantra.
Oh, could I say it? Could I say it? The letter says the mantra is, it's always better to get caught trying rather than not try at all. Oh my goodness.
And as I said in my column, I literally read that 2 or 3 times just to make sure it wasn't a figment of my imagination, because what quote really better sums up the Clintons, right? I mean, what family associates doing anything intrinsically with, quote, getting caught? It's just almost too perfect.
and maybe in the children's book she's talking about, I don't know, so putting your hand literally in the cookie jar. Maybe that's what it'll be about, but that is a very revealing, you're absolutely right. I would love to hear what a shrink has to say about that as a family mantra. So what's interesting here, don't forget, Chelsea, you say, what is she, she knows all the ways to solve the ills of the world. Wasn't she getting $75,000 a speech?
She was also paid $600,000 by NBC to basically do absolutely nothing. And now I think she's earning in the upper 6 figures for her work for the Clinton Foundation, which, as we all know, is kind of baffling, if not downright suspicious. So, yes, Chelsea has been shuttled from high-paying job to high-paying job, basically banking on her family name. And, you can't really blame the girl for that, but it's kind of amusing to see her to come out and then give practical, real-world advice to young children along the way.
Yeah, and I also, with regard to the NBC job, she did a couple of reports. Amazing how she got that job. I think I remember Brian Williams at the time saying that, there's nobody more worldly, with more experience than Chelsea Clinton, and I think she did 2 reports, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so as the election draws nearer and nearer, and Hillary and Chelsea puts this book out, and she's out there, and then they start carrying the baby around, the 2 of them, Chelsea and Hillary. I mean, how much of a help does Chelsea become to Hillary to soften the image and speak on her behalf?
That's an interesting question. I don't know if you saw a video that went viral today of Hillary Clinton greeting one of her average, everyday supporters outside a campaign event. And it was this nice couple who were just trying to get a picture with Hillary, and she sort of barks at them. She says, well, get to the back of the line. Get to the back of the line. And every now and then you see sort of the real Hillary come out, right? She's a horrible campaigner, obviously uncomfortable with people. Given how tone-deaf Chelsea is, I have to say I don't think she's going to help that much on that account.
And it is interesting. Do you think that when push comes to shove, she will eventually one day run for public office?
Again, who could really blame her, right? This is a young woman who has watched her parents get away with everything under the sun. And the hits just keep on coming. Every day we're seeing a news story about the shady operations of the Clinton Foundation. We're seeing, shady things that went on when Ms. Clinton was the Secretary of State. So, again, you can't really blame Chelsea for following in the family brand.
No.
And,
yeah.
Why not?
I love when you brought up, I got one to add. I mean, is Stephanopoulos going to do the interview for the book? Did the book publisher donate to the Clinton Foundation? Those are great lines.
And they did, actually. Amazingly enough, in 2007, Penguin Random House was, like seemingly everyone else in the world, a donor to the Clinton Foundation. So we have that as well.
It is pretty amazing. All right, listen, good stuff, great piece. Everybody check it out at realclearpolitics.com. Heather Wilhelm, the Clinton family's telling mantra. Once again, it's always better to get caught trying rather than not try at all. How about it's always better to try to succeed than never to try, or better to fail than never, but get caught. Get caught! All right, Heather, thank you very much. Give me five is next, folks. Don't you go away. Always better to try and get caught than not.